It is I, Jonzy, and I'm here to do art and draw things. Yeah, so essentially I'm trying something new. I'm trying to see if I can stream this way and, figure out if I can, if this is viable to do in the future. So enjoy if you are into that. What I'm working on today is, I don't know, I got a couple really big canvases, and I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to paint on them. So this, what you're seeing here is sort of in the proportion of that canvas. And I don't know what I'm going to put on there just yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and start drawing for now. Yeah, so typically the way I do a lot of the artwork that I do, especially the paintings, is that I kind of just start drawing, and sometimes I'll work off of like a thumbnail, but for the most part I kind of just go at it, and usually when something's a little bit more architectural, or when there's a little bit more depth that I'm trying to convey, do I bother doing any of this kind of stuff. But sometimes, it's a little nice. It's a little nice to start off with, starting point, I guess. So starting out with a figure that is kneeling on the ground. Arguably human. You could say that everything that I draw is kind of human in a way. They are representative of human beings. They just don't look in the way that most people would recognize as human, because I guess most people wouldn't recognize such things as being human. But that's, matter of perspective, I believe. There's one painting that I want to get started on as soon as I can, but procuring a canvas that size is the biggest challenge yet. I feel like I should just get started on a smaller painting and just, give him that and tell him, like, look, I know it's not what you asked for originally, but that was for compensation. This is just to say that I appreciate you, and this is something that I can reasonably get to your house. So maybe one of these big canvases that I have right now will turn into one of those. But it's a painting of the Titanic over the ocean, not under it. And he just wanted a picture of the Titanic not sinking. Who would have thought? Man. I've done a couple test streams already, but I think this is going to be the only one I'm going to post, because this is the only drawing that I've done so far that's actually been of anything. Essentially, I mostly just want to get like the gesture of a thing here. An emaciated human figure, drained of whatever people generally have inside them. I assume it's like, all different kinds of fluids. I wouldn't know anything about that. Not like I haven't been expelling them the past few days on account of having the flu. I mean, I know people die from the flu, but people also get the flu a lot, so, like, I don't know. I guess it is, like, one of the more deadly diseases, but that's only mostly in, places where medicine is not prevalent, or with, some kind of weird strain of the flu. Which, if I did have a weird strain of the flu, I'd figured that by now I would have either died or, been worse for wear. Because that's the kind of society that we live in now. We have to choose. We live in a society that, you know, we might have to choose between being in debt for the rest of our lives or dying. I just hear way too many excuses for the way things being the way that they are. It's like, oh, you know, things are the way that they are, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to let it hinder you. It's like, no, but I understand that, but that's not the point. Sometimes I still want things to be better. I can, I can, ask for things to be better. I can ask for people to be better. And, I'm not going to spend a lot of time belly aching over it, but, I'm not going to apologize for expecting more from people. I'm talking like I know about a lot of this stuff, and I'm just ranting because of the fact that I make a lot of money, but I still feel like I can't afford a goddamn thing. And that's probably my fault. There's probably a lot of factors that, are not helping. So what is going on with this room? There we go. No, that way. Haha. Yeah, brutalism. I know it's like one of those things that a lot of people are like, it's ugly, I hate it. People who like brutalism are weird. I guess there's not a lot of people that say that because there's not a lot of people who like brutalism, so it's like, why bother calling out those weirdos? But I happen to be one of those weirdos that nobody ever calls out because, again, why would you? Look at that. Look at this fellow. Isn't he such a delightful treat or something? Yeah, I forgot how much I liked this sketchbook program. It's actually pretty useful for this kind of thing. So now I have all of this room, and let me try this perspective business again. I feel like I'm getting some of it wrong. There we go. Far more shallow. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Let's keep erasing some of these superfluous lines. Let's just get rid of this for now. And there we go. Let's just start the architectural problem from scratch so that we're not distracted. There we go. I discovered that brutalism was named for concrete and not for the fact that it looks brutal, which makes me feel like an asshole. Because that was the assumption that I came to, which I imagine a lot of other people did too. But now I can smugly walk up to somebody and be like, hey, you know what brutalism means? It's kind of interesting on how the context and the timing and the information surrounding certain things can change the entire experience of it. Because with our culture, we look at brutalism and we see something that is oppressive and kind of scary almost, looming. Like the buildings loom like a gargoyle, which is fitting because they are made of concrete. But they to the person that designed them, they were considered utilitarian and, humble. They don't look humble to us, though, because they seem almost unnatural. The flat walls and the sheer sides, the angles. Sometimes the lack of windows. They look cold and uninviting, as if, almost as if they are rebelling against their intended use as dwellings or places for people to work and live in. Like, that's not, like, I know that's what you designed us for. But we are going to be as uninhabitable as possible. Colder than a winter forest. Alright, let's do some cleaning up here. So yeah, that's been influencing a lot of my work lately. I mean, obviously a huge influence on my stuff lately has been Francis Bacon. I don't know if anybody's been seeing any of the paintings that I've been doing. But Francis Bacon essentially achieved what I was trying to do for the longest time, and it was like he gets it. Essentially creating paintings that sprout from the brush strokes, that seem less that they were created, but more that they bled themselves onto the canvas, because the brush strokes are so minimalist. Like, no, I wouldn't say minimalist, but the brush strokes are so intentional that the various values he achieves in a single brush stroke, in order to capture shading or anything that he's doing, just really, it's just like what he's able to express in a very short amount of strokes is impressive. And obviously, like, the aesthetics of what he does is something that I again find really intriguing. It's terrifying. It's artwork that is violent, and in contrast, like, I don't consider myself a violent person. Some people found Francis Bacon to be a character of a lot of energy, and you can kind of see where the violence is. But in my paintings and in my person, I think there's a stark contrast between the real person. There's obviously a darkness that I appreciate and that I relish, but like, to those who know me personally, that darkness is something that isn't expressed by my character. It's expressed by a lot of other things. People don't view me as a violent person. They don't see me as such, and I don't want to be that. I have no desire to be a violent person, and I don't think I am. But the creation of these paintings, I think, comes from a turbulent, violent place deep inside of me, and I think painting them and making them real is my way of exercising these demons that live inside me. Which I feel is like a cliche thing to say as an artist, to Like I'm exercising a darkness inside of me. Ooh, I'm so tortured. Ooh. Which I wouldn't go that far, but because that whole stereotype has its own problems. But you know, there are things that I don't like to talk about. There's things that I just can't talk about. There's things like, is there any way that I can help you? Like you seem to be troubled, Nick. Everybody wonders like what's going on with you. It's like, no, I'm fine. There's nothing you can do. All you can do is be my friend, be a family member, be as close as you are willing to be. Ah, talking is making my mouth dry. I'm so sick today. I feel like this whole wall behind this guy needs something, and it needs something really unpleasant. But let me see what I got going here. Let's see. Let's do something. Let's just do. And let's say there's something right. Nope. Don't move that thing. I really like playing with perspective like that. Having perspective be really kind of wigged out and wacky. All right, let's. So this man, this thing, whatever it is, crawled out of this mouth. So I can stream good, it seems. So not that I need to prove any more to myself that I can do this and that this is a viable thing. I mostly wanted to try this out because I had an idea for streaming myself drawing homebrew Dungeons and Dragons monsters. Sorry, I'm trying not to die right now. Homebrewed Dungeons and Dragons monsters and making them as horrifying as possible because as I'm sure it's probably clear by now, horrifying is definitely within my wheelhouse. But I just wanted to do the technical aspects of streaming because, I'm not sure if I want to plaster my face on streaming. I'm not sure if the world is ready to see my horrifying visage in its true form. Because, who would want that? Why would I subject the public to such a terrifying sight to behold? I don't want to destroy the fabric of Western civilization simply by my reveal. But maybe I will reveal. Maybe I will do a face reveal when I get a billion subscribers. Now, people, you can see my face on my Instagram. What am I even talking about? It's not like my identity is a secret or anything. It's not like I'm like some kooky celebrity. That nobody knows who the true identity is. I'm nobody famous. There's nobody knocking down my door to figure out where I eat or sleep or, whatever, what have you. I'm just a regular dude. And I guess there's people that I revere that aren't super famous, but that are important to me for various reasons. But I don't know. There's something. It's like even imagining somebody like thinking about me in the same way that like people think about celebrities in the sense of like, oh, this person's done something important. I want to get them to autograph one of the things that they've made. Not that I have anything that I've made that I could autograph, you know. Unless you buy some of my Redbubble merch. Link in the description. I don't know. I don't know if I'm putting a link to that there, maybe. Uh, do I want a light source for this? Or do I want more like dark ambient lighting? Keep it simple. I guess it's not so important in this stage of things anyway. Oh, well, I guess it's good enough. And what is our boy going to look? Is he going to be jaundice? He's going to be a jaundice boy. All up with that jaundice life that he's been living, because that jaundice Simpson's life, simpin'. There he is, Homer Simpson, right there. There he is, Homer Simpson. That's his name, Homer Simpson. How are you doing, Homer Simpson? Well, I'm doing great. Good, Homer. Homie Homer. Homie Homer. Yes, Homie Homer was jaundiced from the day he was born, just like everybody. He died of liver complications because he was stupid. Boy, howdy, how much I hate everyone. I hate the sun and the sky and the moon and the ground. There's not an aspect of life that I don't hate, for I am a being made of pure hatred. Enjoy the hatred, everybody. You think you understand hatred? You should try being me for a size. I know hatred. Alright, let's see. I want to kind of make those eyeballs a little pink eye. And this skin's also going to be jaundice. Jaundice Simpin. It's a Simpin world. I know you're probably tired of me saying Simpin, but I'm going to say it again. I probably should be cleaning, but I haven't drawn in a long time. I'm allowed to enjoy myself when I'm sick. Right? I think that's a good start, don't you think? I think that's a good place to leave this off at. So, I don't know. This is a good test run, I think. So if you're watching this, and you've been watching for the past hour, kudos to you. That's the end of the road. Hope you have a good one.